Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. As if you can see me, I'm sort of buried under here, and we've got a large EXO here, and it's quite difficult to actually try and do this. So we've had to be a little bit ingenious, inventive. That's the word. That's the word, my love. So we've got it on top of a box on my turntable, so we can move it around, so I can actually do something. Right then, what we're going to do today is, this has been a long journey to believe it or not. You regulars would have remembered when we got our Theraphosa Blondie, the confirmed female. Well, she decided she weren't having none of that and molted out into a confirmed male. Now this is rather annoying when you're trying to set up breeding programs. And because you can spend an awful lot of time with one particular animal trying to get it through to a point where you can breed and all the rest of it, and then just to find out, I mean, when we thought this was a female, we had actually acquired a subadult male, so that we were planning for the future, so these things will come together at the right time, and that all went out the window. So everything got thrown away. So we then were on a bit of a buzz to find ourselves a confirmed female, which we have now got. Thank you very much to Christoph at the Tarantula Room. He actually had one and came to the rescue, so we've got that, and our breeding program will continue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to house her in here. So we're going to do our normal bioactive. That is the thing with these large enclosures, they do take up quite a lot of material. So this is obviously something that if you're considering getting into these types of spiders, then it's something worth thinking about. Everything you do needs to be on a much larger scale, which makes it all a little bit more expensive and takes up a lot more room. So there we go. We put our matting down on top of there. Now what we're going to do now is going to fill up with some compost. There we go. Have you got enough, David? This is the question. No, we haven't. Right. Bag number 2. Be back in a minute, guys. This is another thing that you'll find when you have a large collection. It pays to have plenty of supplies. Whack this in here. Bit of a bigger scoop. Right. Right then. So what we're trying to achieve here, we're going to mix some Beastie in with that as well. We're going to make this as natural as we possibly can. And then we'll run through what it's all about. Right. So we mix this in like so. There we go. There we go. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to use a piece of bark to actually get down into the corner here. Put that in there like so. Pull this up round here like that. It's taken a little bit of shape there. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and encourage her to actually go down into here, and hopefully she'll be able to dig down into there. There's much more substrate in the back here, so she can actually dig down into there. Now with the Theraphosa blondie and the Sturmis, they all require a real good amount of humidity within the soil. They like a damp soil, so it's very, very important. Now we've got ourselves some rotting timber here, which again is full of isopods. It's absolutely crammed with them, and we're going to put a bit of this in here like so. There. Unfortunately, this is not a very nice water dish, but its size is perfect for what we want. We need to try and find a better looking water dish, really. Put that in there. What we got going on here? I think what we're going to do now is we've got these lovely big slabs of moss. So I think we're going to try and use these. So literally just tear that off like so. See, when you go out and collect this yourselves, you can pull up big pieces like this, and it's absolutely ideal because it means that you can fashion it to however you want. There. Just making sure that it doesn't actually end up in the water bowl, because it will suck out all your water. It'll be gone. There we go. I'm thinking I might just leave this with earth on the back there. I think we put on some weight. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll leave that like that. I'll just move this way a little bit. Alright, I don't think we're going to bother with the plants. Don't think we need them. So get rid of that. Alright, so we'll just put some water on this. Now over time we can slowly flood the bottom out, which will give us a core area of water in here. So we can literally just flood this out without fear of all of this getting soaking wet. And this is what we're going to be looking to achieve, to bring on that humidity that these particular spiders really require. We're running out of water. There we go. think that is there. We are there. Right then, let's have a look at our spider. And she is in here. Rather stunning looking thing. Let's give this a quick clean. Get our catch box. Right then, if you want to come here, you can have a nice close-up look. Isn't she lovely? Now this particular girl is, she's of a breeding age. She will still get a little bit bigger, but you can see she's got a nice plump abdomen on her. This was a captive bred female as well. So she's fully acclimatized. Now, quite often the case with these guys, when they come in and you're buying wild caught specimens, then they can be quite tricky with parasites and such like, internal parasites, and they do take quite a bit of time to actually acclimatize. So if you're not really up to speed with these guys, a wild caught spider is perhaps not a good idea. It's definitely as for your first Theraphosa or your big Theraphosa, I would definitely go for a captive bred individual. So what we're going to do, these are a New World species, and they do kick up hairs, urticating hairs. Now these are I believe are type 3 hairs, so they're very strong, and it's quite often advisable to wear glasses. Many people wear gloves, even cover your arms, because when the hairs get onto your arms and things like that, you can itch for a long time. Now I personally prefer to be bare, as it were, but I would advise you guys, cover yourselves up. So what we're going to do, as soon as she gets touched, she will probably kick hairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our catch cup on top, and hopefully that will seal in any of the hairs. And as you saw there, she literally just moved, that was all she was doing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to try and get the lid underneath her, but our catch cup is protecting us from the hairs. All we're doing now is we're just laying that on the floor. Notice she hasn't kicked any yet. So now we're using the top of the catch cup just to manoeuvre her onto the lid. And just want to, that's it. She's got her legs in there now. So now we've got her on the lid, and we pick her up nice and gently. You see, very gently. I'm going to transfer her now to our enclosure, where we literally just place the tub in there like so. And we can now lift our lid off. She is there. Now we have two options now. We can either close it all up and leave the lid in there and just let her wander off, or we can walk her off of it and see what she does. I think we'll take this moment just to have a nice good look at her. And we'll see there that See that lovely rich colouring that they have. Now an interesting thing here, you can see with the hairs on the legs, got a lovely russety sort of colour to them. Very, very pretty spiders. Now these guys don't breed as readily as the Sturmey, and they are very moisture dependent. So it's very important, especially around molting time, that your enclosure is humid. It must be humid. If they dry out at any point when they're coming near to molting, when they dig themselves in and they're getting ready for pre-molt, if they dry out at any point in there, there's a very high possibility that you will lose your spider. It will have trouble molting and probably die during the process. So it's very, very important that these guys have a high humidity. We're looking at around about 80–85% as a general humidity, and then down in their burrows it can be up in the 90s for when they're actually molting. It's very, very important. That being said, very high humidity promotes mold and things like that. So what we're looking for is a really good air exchange as well. And this type of enclosure, this is an Exoterra, has a fully meshed lid, is ideal because we can maintain the humidity within our soil, but we're getting really good airflow up above. The air exchange is being permanently turned over all the time. So it's very, very good. Now look, she's off for a little wander. Typically she wants to go the wrong way. As you can see now, these are a very heavy spider, so we're not looking at giving them much in the way of height, hence why we've built all of this up in our enclosure so she can't get up high and fall over. Absolutely gorgeous spiders. Now these aren't what you would class as a beginner's spider, just purely because of their care. You have to be aware of maintaining their care, and it does need to be quite particular. You can't afford to sort of like fail really in terms of their care in that respect. Food wise, these guys will take on pretty much anything. These will take on a giant hisser without any problems at all. I do feed these the giant hissers, but generally I only feed them when they're half grown, when they're not got such strong spiky legs, because although these spiders are very capable of taking down prey and, you know, really dealing with it well, I don't like to run the risk of my spiders being damaged by an overzealous huge roach. It's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. So then what we're going to do is we are going to allow this girl to settle in for a week. Hopefully she will set up home. All being well, she'll set up home under here, and then we can move forward. And then within a week to 10 days, with our male, who is fully mature now, he will be introduced, and we'll get a video of it. And this is one of the reasons we've left this open piece of ground in the enclosure here, because we're looking at the breeding prospect in the future. So we can pop our male in here, and she has to come out. He'll work it from here, and it means that we can end up with a safety cordon for our spiders. So we're always looking forward, especially in the breeding program. Set your enclosures up, if you're going to breed, set them up with breeding in mind. Makes life a lot simpler in the long run. Right, well, I think that just about covers that. We look forward to the future now, and we'll see what happens. I hope you'll agree, she's an absolutely stunning spider. Right then, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I'll see you soon, guys.